Let's talk about how you first got interested in acting.
Oh, goodness. Well, both my parents, actually, they went to college and both majored in acting at UNO. And so I just kind of figured there's got to be something in my blood there that's conducive to that. I took an improv class when I was really young and just had sort of an interest in it. And every once in a while, you'd see something in the paper about auditions or what have you, and saw actually a friend of mine who's in the cast told me about the auditions that they were having, and I was like, oh, might as well give that a try. And so I thought, hey, Flyover country, let's see how this goes. And sure enough, worked out pretty well.
What are some of the early stage plays you've been in?
Erg. It's not a very exhaustive list. It's like I did that small improv play, and then it's been mainly little film projects here and there.
So Flyover Country is really your film debut?
It's been my big, exciting moment. Definitely my debut of any sort. And so I'm excited to see how it goes. It sounds like it's going to be a pretty great movie. I've only really seen the parts that I'm in, but I have every confidence in the people that we're working with because I've got to know some of the actors, and I'm sure that they're going to do a great job.
When you hear the term Flyover Country, what does that mean to you?
Flyover country generally has always, to me, signified a kind of ignorance about the middle of America and the idea that the only interesting things that happen in the country are on the coasts because that's where a lot of the people are, which a lot of the interesting things do happen there, but that's not to discredit the people in the middle who really have a great story to tell. And so I think it's great that this movie is very indicative of that idea that we have some interesting plot lines here as well that are deserving of it here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've always been in favor of more awareness of that middle America, of that middle of the country perspective, and getting to know people who are not necessarily the East Coast, West Coast type, but the good old heartland folks, and what they have to say.
And how would you describe your character of Frank in the movie?
Oh, goodness. Honestly, to me, he comes across as a bit of a sleazeball. Frank is this kind of straight acting, more masculine gay guy who works on this long crew with Russ, Mike's character, and he is the kind of person who will chase after a straight guy and try and convince them otherwise that they're just confused and that they just need somebody to bring out the gayness in them. And so it's definitely out of my wheelhouse because that's my least favorite thing to do, is to make people feel awkward about situations like that. But it was interesting trying to portray that anyway through Frank, because he's a bit more of a live wire in that respect, a little bit more outgoing than even I am, and so it was an interesting experience to try to portray that.
You have a really nice place.
Thanks. Do you like this music? I heard you're a big jazz fan.
Yes, love jazz. Nobody around here seems to, though.
Well, I do. This is my favorite group. I saw them last week. They were in a show.
What are you doing?
Touching you.
Why?
Because I think you're a sexy guy.
Are you gay?
Yes. So are you, right?
No, I'm not.
Oh, come on. Or do you consider yourself bisexual?
I consider myself straight, all right? Totally straight.
Okay, well, I've seen the way you look at me and the other guys on the long crew. You can't tell me there's nothing there.
I think I should go. Like, now.
Don't worry. I'm not going to do anything you don't want me to.
Talk about what it was like acting in that scene.
Oh God, that was.
Were you
It
nervous?
was it was awkward, but it was also thoroughly entertaining. The weird thing was just that I think me and Mike both kind of understood we had parts to play. We had to do this, but I don't know who was more uncomfortable, me or him, to be honest with you. Just because I don't like making people feel uncomfortable, and I know that he's not gay, and so it was weird to have to be very physical with him in that scene in a way that I'm sure he has not had a hell of a lot of experience with.
What about the scene that follows the next morning?
That was also interesting. Well, for one, I had never seen Mike shirtless before, so that was a new experience. But also, especially I thought was very funny, and that was a lot of fun to shoot just because we got to do a lot of comedic timing with it, and also sort of showed a little bit more of a human side of Frank, I thought too, just especially at the end where he's just trying to appeal to him in a little bit less of a confrontational way and more of a you just need understanding, you need somebody to be here for you or something. And so taking the physicality out of it a little bit, I thought showed a little bit more of a human side, and I don't know, I thought that was interesting. Morning. Here, I made coffee.
Thank you.
Did you sleep okay?
Why am I naked, Frank? What the happened last night? Please don't touch me. I'm really confused right now.
You're still sweaty.
Still? What the does that mean? Still.
Don't pretend you don't know.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, really?
Don't touch me, man. I'm really, really confused right now. I don't know what the is going on.
Russ,
Why are you... Don't... Ah! God! Frank, please tell me nothing happened last night, okay?
Russ.
Please tell me that I have nothing to be ashamed about.
Russ, you can't seriously expect me to believe that old excuse. Oh God, I was so drunk last night, I can't remember a thing. It's ridiculous. Now come on, just sit back down on the couch with me.
I really don't know what the happened last night, okay? I really don't know what you're talking about.
Why can't you accept yourself for who you really are?
Don't touch me, man. Where's my other shoe?
I don't know.
Frank.
Russ, just...
Frank, I'm only gonna say this once, man, alright? I'm not gay, alright? I'm totally, completely, 100% straight. You got that? Will you please help me find my other shoe? Don't come near me, man.
Listen, Russ, you'll be fine.
I'm out of here, you got that? Don't.
Russ! Russ!
What?
Your shoe. Why can't you just accept the fact that you enjoyed what we did last night? Why can't you accept yourself for who you really are?
Listen, Frank. Just leave me alone, man. Please.
See you at work Monday.
What do you hope people take away from the movie?
That's a good question. I'd say I'd hope they'd find that there are important stories to be told in all different facets of life, and no matter where it occurs. I mean, like when you mentioned Flyover country, I mean, this is taking place in the heartland of America. Just because we're in the middle of the country doesn't mean there aren't people of every different background and culture, and even within that culture there are so many different types of people. And so I would hope that at the very least you can come away with a meaningful personal message in that. And then beyond that, the comedy in the movie is certainly something that I hope people get a lot out of, because I think we liked to play around with that, and I hope they enjoy it as much as we did.
Okay, and let's talk about the future. What's next for you?
Oh, goodness. For me, acting has been always sort of a hobby. Otherwise, I've been studying criminal justice. I hope to get involved in law enforcement soon, and so maybe I'll end up pulling somebody over who's seen the movie before, and they'll be like, oh, hey, you're that really weird guy in that movie I saw.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
I hope whoever watches enjoys my performance and the performance of all my friends and people I've come to know. I think it's going to be a quality product, and so I hope they enjoy it.